Hello everyone. 2025 is finally over. It's really sad that the year ending designing the pain is going to end though. This year was really hard for me. One of the hardest years ever for me. Just kind of constant feelings of like loneliness and depression. Feel like I'm not needed. Hating my voice. My cat died. Everything going on in the real world. It's just not a good year. Also, we just gave them memes. The memes are not a thing anymore. It's like memes don't happen like naturally anymore. It's just someone says a thing and declare that's a meme now. It's like oh, someone says Blarthing Boodle. Everyone's like, oh, Blarthing Boodle, iconic meme Blarthing Boodle. Oh, I'm so tired of the hit brain rot term Blarthing Boodle. What's Blarthing Boodle? There was like, I don't know, 6, 7 memes this year I thought were mildly funny. But besides that, no, this year sucked. This is the complete like waste of a year. So I watched over 100 things this year.
AMC Theaters. We make movies better.
The hard thing with these videos is always picking what to start with. Well, this year is all about pain and suffering. So here's a zombie movie. 28 Years Later is the third of the 28 later films, which this time focuses more on the human condition and stress rather than zombies. But don't worry, they're here too. A very tense film. But I would say the previous two are scarier and more intense. I still like this. Well, let's just stick with horror films, I guess. Weapons is a very slow burn, as it shows how various people react to this strange event where a bunch of children went missing, before everything comes together and an old lady is mauled to death. The very eerie atmosphere works super well as we slowly learn more and more about the town, before everything's revealed. Great movie. Death of Unicorn is the bad kind of slow burn. It takes itself really super seriously in its premise of a family accidentally killing a unicorn, and the dad, we're supposed to like him, but he's really super unlikable. The ending is fun, but it's not worth it. I watched all the Final Destination movies this year. I think the 6 is my favorite, but they all kind of blend together for me. The other one's creative kills with it aiming even higher than before, but they all kind of blend together in my mind, but this is fun. Wait, frick, sorry, I forgot. My fan base is mostly 9-year-old kids on the spectrum who only watch cartoons, which is basically just me, except I'm 26, so here's some cartoons. Dogman was fun, I guess. Animation carries, PD is funny. Wouldn't mind a sequel, but it's mostly just an average kids film. I saw people hyping up Smurfs as Hitler's Return, but like, it's fine. Yeah, it's mostly a generic kids film. But also, dear God, were you expecting Smurfs to be some masterpiece? Some really well-animated bits here, I feel like deserve some love. Even if, yes, it's also got required knee slappers referencing Twitter and whatnot. And it is the worst Smurfs film, because at least a live action film had most of his lack as Gargamel. But like, if you want a genuinely awful film, please look harder. Or watch Until Dawn. So I haven't played the game it's based on, but I know the basic premise of it is about Wendigos. This has nothing to do with the game. I mean, it takes place in a cabin. It's kinda a horror film. Every single scare is predictable, and I saw from a mile away. There's more jump scares than your average playthrough of a FNAF game. And the effects, dear God. The deaths of this film are unironically hysterical. Someone popped like a freaking balloon. Is this a horror film or a freaking Tom and Jerry short? Not only is the worst film I've seen all year, I think it very well might be a contender for the worst movie of the decade. Stay far, far away. How on earth did this get nominated for Best Adaptation of the Game Awards over Sonic 3? Oh, I guess I can finish up the handful of horror films before I talk about cartoons, because for some reason it shocks people every single time they find out I watch another animation. Hard Eyes is a fun throwback to classic slashers. It has a fun twist of the killer targeting happy couples, which immediately makes him the most vindicated killer in horror history. And it's got some good scares and kills. Good film. Then there's The Monkey! The film is so ungodly stupid, but it knows it. While the kills are among the most brutal in any horror film, they know exactly how stupid the premise is. Because that really play up everything for comedy. That dude from Toy Story 3 is scary and hysterical. Hysterical. Not a masterpiece, but very, very fun. I watched the I Know What You Did Last Summer films this year. The first two are great, and the third one is not, but at least we know it can't get worse. It got worse. 25 Reboot starts pretty good, honestly, having a very fun creative take on the fisherman with some fun kills. But then they had a plot twist so bad that it genuinely ruined the original movies. Maybe the angriest I've gotten at a movie this decade. I Know What You Did Last Summer made a god-awful film. Frankenstein, on the other hand, is a great take on the old franchise. Taking bits from the book and bits from the older movie to Frankenstein together, well, maybe not the definitive Frankenstein, but a really creative take that nails the gothic look while making the Doctor more of a villain and the monster more innocent, keeping some of the book's features. Pretty great. Megan 2.0. I did not like the first film, and this... Dude, this sucks so bad. Oh my God. Yes, I still refuse to call it freaking freak you. The one thing I'll give the original is at least try to be scary. This took a Terminator 2 approach of the evil robot is back and is now guiding a child. It's just now, you know, dog water. It feels like a very smug movie. There's this random singing scene that was clearly trying to be a meme. Megan choosing to the mom, even though the mom is 100% right of being worried of the robot that killed multiple people. They literally said they expected Megan to be as big as Superman. But God, this sucked. I'm powering down this film franchise entirely. It's a lost cause. Palate cleanser. Sinners is a modern masterpiece. The film perfectly balances the realistic struggles of the old Western time while also being about vampires. The music is fantastic. Gonna say a lot about what is great about it. Please check it out. I managed to squeeze FNAF 2 into here. The first is an objectively better movie, but I had a lot of fun with this. I'm sure it's a game in fun ways, even if it's really dumb. I wish I had more MatPat, but this is a decent time. The maybe isn't horror themed, but it's a pretty fun idea of a sex doll coming to life and killing people. It's funny, you should watch it. But then, there's easily the scariest film I've seen all year. A horrific monster, not deserved to be seen by human eyes. Chicken Jockey! I didn't watch a Minecraft movie in theaters, so I said I was not pelted with popcorn while watching it. But honestly, it's not like that would have made the experience that much worse. I'm sorry, but Jack Black has lost his magic to me. He's the exact same character in every movie he's in. I'm kind of sick of it. This film has some of the most obvious green screen and effects I've seen in a movie. There are genuinely times where the effects look near Spy Kids level. Frick, that's an insult to Spy Kids. With that said, the film clearly adores Minecraft. There's so many little nods to the game, and everything looks directly ripped from it. It's very charming if you like the game. Good for one watch, but unlike the Chicken Jockey, I'm never dropping it again. Stephen Garrett are gay. Okay, enough horror film with a middle-aged men yaoi. Paddington in Peru was pretty cute. This was released in 2024, wasn't available in America until 2025. America is basically the planet, so it counts. Yeah, it's cute. I don't like the higher stakes of this. This is what makes the original two so great, is how grounded and charming they are. But like, it's Paddington. This is the highest rated film trilogy for a reason. Okay, now let's make time for the real cinema. Happy Gilmore 2. Frick, I was supposed to laugh and keep that in. Okay, with Adam Sandler aging, I think the ring is on the wall to really hit everything he wants to do. So I guess this kind of feels like one of the things he needs to hit before he could blast into flames. Almost every joke is recycled from the first, but like, it's Happy Gilmore 2. You want me to genuinely beef with Happy Gilmore 2? I'll beef with Snow White though. No one genuinely adores the original, but it's saved beloved for being the first feature-length animated movie. It was made sure it's animated hour-long movie, but it paid off because the film looks gorgeous. All those upsides were removed of making a live action. With all the fantastic animation, it's honestly really boring. Matches how Gal Gadot is a bad actor and a bad person. It's got some catchy songs, and honestly, Snow White's actress did a fantastic job, but the film kind of upsets me. Not as much as the Lilo & Stitch remake does, though. I was very mixed walking out on this film, but now, I really hate it. There's good here, but I hate the changes so much. Especially Jumba, Justice for my goat. I discussed it in depth in my video on Stitch. There's undeniably good stuff here, but like, dude, just watch the original. It's fantastic, and it has my Gil Gonto. Oh, and I guess DreamWorks is on the live action train too. Please, God, do a Turbo remake. How to Train Your Dragon has some good additions. 99% of it is beat for beat the original, with worse dragon designs and action. The director saying the original is only a blueprint for the real movie boils my blood. And this is completely superfluous, but in a vacuum, it's passable. Ballerina is a pretty great spin-off to the John Wick franchise, carrying on the action and high stakes with a new character. I kind of wish they incorporated her ballerina skills more into her fighting, but also, I'm not going to suggest any changes to a movie with a flamethrower beam struggle. K-pop Demon Hunters, maybe the movie of the year. Not my favorite, but nothing overtook pop culture quite like this. I think the hype is kind of obsessive, since there's some major flaws in this with me. Most only being how Rumi and Ginu are the only characters in the movie that matter. But the animation is fantastic, the songs are all super catchy. Zoe, that's my girl. I think the insane hype has gotten really over the top. Like, dude, it's getting a Broadway musical now? What? But I did quite love it. I'm looking forward to the sequel. Just give us more Zoe. Naked Gun really feels like something you don't see anymore. It's rare to just see a pure comedy anymore. Just simply dumb fun. The entire premise is that gritty acting star Liam Neeson's name sounds really similar to the star of the old Naked Gun movies, Leslie Nielsen. But it runs with that simple premise to get some really funny bits. Definitely check it out. Bad Guys 2. Guys, I think we have to admit that the original was not that good. Amazing animation masks many a fart joke. Sadly, it's the same here. Missing what I liked about the original with the friendship, they're gay, between Wolf and Snake. They aren't really pretending to hide what it is, though. They know this isn't made for kids, it's made for furries. I know what you are. Fighting movie is surprisingly fun. Someone who likes all SpongeBob movies, yes, that includes Sandy. I haven't seen the new one, though. I don't go into SpongeBob films for their deep, complex nuances, like most other cartoon channels seem to do. I just want something funny. This has some pretty good jokes, some nice animation, and some good moments from Karen and Plankton. Sadly, one of my favorite post-season 3 episodes, Friend or Foe, was retconned here. But again, I shockingly do not look at SpongeBob for plot. They kept Plankton having a very pronounced rear end, so we're chill Plankton movie. Novocaine is another big action movie. This time, the guy has extremely durable skin. It's a very simple superpower, but they work with it super well. Also had a great villain and some great fight scenes. Pretty good. Elio was fun enough. It is painfully obvious that this went through several rewrites. The slug is a major part of the movie, but only appears halfway through the film. Heck, remember the old commercials that made it seem like the film's villain was going to be the sidekick? But it's very pretty. It sets up a fun world, and I vibe with it because, like, autism. Not stated, but my radar went off. One Battle After Another is a great satire of current events, all telling its own narrative. After watching Chief Phyllis's video on Paul Thomas Anderson movies, it made me really want to check out more of his filmography, and this was a great impression. How about Day the Earth blew up briefly earlier this year? A very funny movie that is a perfect tribute to Looney Tunes' golden age. Arguably before its golden age, focusing more on Wacky Daffy over Jerk and Via Staffy. And for a film slated for TV before getting a last-minute upgrade, it's absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite films of the year, even after all this time. It just makes me so happy. My glorious king, Father Jim, mogs 90% of movies this century. While I feel like Wake Up Dead Man is the weakest of the Ben Blanc trilogy, it's still a very gripping mystery film. Definitely check it out. I'm keeping it vague because it's hard to discuss mysteries without spoiling them. I heard Electric State was awful, but I don't know, I thought it was fine. For them, I'm just impressed that streaming films can be this high budget now, with multiple A-listers. But like, it really isn't worth anything hyping up. The idea of robot uprising with a group of good robots is fun, but there's pretty large gaps of nothing happening in this movie. Also, the leader of the good robots is Mr. Peanut. Not a parody, he's just Mr. Peanut. Biggie 17 was fantastic. It's by the same guy who made Parasite, so yeah, great. Really not as dark as I expect, which is a good thing. Nothing as a comedy though, it's a very intense film with great performances across the board. Great movie. One of the best I've seen this year. I had a brief Vocaloid phase this year, and in that phase, I decided to check out the new Vocaloid movie. For the first time, one of the biggest faces in anime actually got an official anime adaptation. It's not really a Miku movie, she's barely a factor. It's more based on the general vibe of Project Sekai. If you know what you're getting into, it's a cute film with some good songs. Not the transcending experience all my friends were telling me it was, but it's enjoyable. Colors Within is from the same team as Silent Voice, and while it's not as good as that, it's a really nice movie of three girls who see in color forming a band. Very sweet watch, I'd recommend it. Not just a goof, it's a documentary explaining the struggle to make Goofy movie, and its influence. Being released by Disney itself, I expected it to be very focus tested, but no, this really does feel like a genuine documentary made by people who genuinely love the movie. The animated bits were great, although they made Jeffrey Katzenberg this like shrewd stick in the mud, and the ending showcases the million reviews it got when released, versus the glowing love it's getting from actual YouTuber videos is really nice. 0 out of 10, very much repeat. Predator got two fantastic films this year. On Hulu, we got an animated film, Killer Killers, an anthology of people across history fighting predators, all with fantastic animation and a really great action. I don't think that goes against the normal Yacha code of instead of respecting people who beat them, they kidnap them and force them into rigged gladiator matches, but it's implied this is only just this clan, so I can accept that. And somehow, Badlands is even better. It's humanizing to these creatures while keeping what we know and love about them. Including monsters somehow alien to the actual alien. The android and the monkey could have been annoying, but they really just tied Deck's story together. And the action is, of course, a banger. Her never misses, if we ignore the one-time misses. Did you even know they made a sequel to Freaky Friday? Freakier Friday really does just feel like more of the same. It's a fun idea of throwing Lindsay Lohan's daughter into the mix, but yeah, this doesn't need to exist. Nobody 2 is a pretty fun follow-up to the original movie. Another big action films inspired by John Wick. Just for Saul Goodman this time. Not as into these movies, but the action is even better than the first, so it's decent. Friendship is fun. It's about a pretty average guy suddenly becoming clearly one-upped by a much cooler guy when he moves in. And he attempts to be his friend, but he goes extremely too far as things spiral. It's pretty fun in a dark way. I like it well enough. We're gonna see Paul Rudd freak from the Ant-Man shackles once in a while. Sloth and Starlight is a Korean animated movie. You don't see a lot of those. It starts as an absolutely adorable romance movie, but slowly more and more technology is introduced, throwing a lot of wrenches into things you thought you knew. The romance stays strong though throughout as you bond with the couple. Easy making this film a strong highlight of the year. It's on Netflix, definitely give it a watch. Playdate has got to be the single weirdest movie I've seen this year. This is one of the absolutely most inconsistent tones I've seen in a movie. First, it's a wacky comedy about two guys trying to bond with their kids. Then gangsters are hunting down their kids, and Kevin James needs to rush to help them, with zero jokes or irony. Then they're fighting an army of kid soldiers, and every cut, they're bouncing between this being funny or deadly. To Kevin James moping about how he's a failure of a parent, as his kid stands behind him, hitting a perfect gritty. This feels like they just made it to make a movie. They got Kevin James signed to a film, for realizing they don't have a script, and they just threw out together the first thing that came to their mind. Nizza 2 got a lot of buzz for being the highest grossing animated film, but no one really talked about its actual content. Having seen it? No, yeah, it deserves that title. It's funny, it's got great action, it's pretty cool to see animation outside of America and Japan getting attention. I've seen the original Running Man, but a very, very long time ago. The remake was mostly new to me. I did like it. It deviates massively from the original book and film. Considering the world has changed so much since the 80s, it makes sense. Pretty fun take on the story, and I'd say I like it more than my scared bitch the memory of the original. It sounded way harsher than it was meant to be. As for the other Stephen King adaptation about a bunch of people walking for money, The Long Walk should be boring. But somehow this simple experiment led to one of the most intense films I've ever seen. Every death is soul-crushing. You really start bonding with the walkers as it becomes clear none of them want their fellow men to die. One of my absolute favorites of the year. Fixed. Listen, I respect this movie. Genndy Tartakovsky tried for a decade and a half to get his passion project out, and it's so rare to see a hand-drawn film. Especially one that's absolutely stunning to look at, as you expect from Genndy. I wish the stunning thing I was looking at was not dog balls. Listen, I can respect this film, but I didn't like it. Aggressively not for me, but also, most of the jokes are cute animal says sex. I struggle to see how it's for anyone. I'm glad this came out. We're getting more 2D and adult animated movies. We just need good ones. Warfare is an extremely serious look at war and what it takes to be a soldier. Not exactly something I can recommend to most, but fantastic for what it is. Speaking of fantastic for what it is, if you want something to be the worst movie ever, also something I'd gladly drop everything to watch, War of the Worlds. Ice Cube cannot act to save his life. This film is the worst ending for a major motion feature I've ever seen. The director really wants to blow Jeff Bezos and every single Amazon employee. Again, just the most blank emotionless stare Ice Cube gives constantly before he goes on this big rant with the emotion of me. To the War of the Worlds, a failure is what I label you. But that doesn't make this film any less enjoyable. I implore everyone watching to check it out. It is absolutely hysterical. The perfect watch with friends in a VC movie. And then of course, we got Marvel, baby! We made 3 films this year. Captain America New World Order was mixed. Sam is great. I like the Master and Ross's villains. Even if Ross being revealed to be Red Hulk would have been really cool if they didn't shove into more advertising than Sam himself. But it's also just kind of missing that X factor, you know? It's the most sad Marvel movie they've done. We're saying how great the original Captain America trilogy is quite sad. Thunderbolts, on the other hand, is a masterful film. Taking this random handful of characters I could not care less about, making them all really lovable, besides Taskmaster, avoiding a lot of the general MCU trappings, giving us a great film. One of my new favorites of this universe. The final of the 3 was Fantastic Four, and I liked it. It really commits to the 60s feel and aesthetic. Galactus was a really threatening and cool villain, even if he lacks some of the cool bits of the comic. Everyone gets a great moment. Aside for Thing, which is sad because he's my favorite. Kind of sad this did mediocrely. Buzz around it kind of dropped pretty quickly. Because I really want to see more of this universe. And to end this off, Superman. There was so much writing on this movie. The start of the new DC universe. Let her take a Superman after a decade of him being more known for angst. So much more. And it delivered. I adore this movie. It's one of my favorite superhero films. The world it's set up is so bright and fun. Lex is an amazing villain for just how utterly hateable he is. Are there better movies this year? Yes. But kindness is the new punk rock. I love this so much.
Not just cartoon.
The previous years, I've discussed how the landscape animation freaking sucks, but we at least got some pretty great things that everyone talks about and loves. Not so much this year. Okay, that's not 100% true. This year we had some good shows. Great ones, actually. But we didn't get that one breakout hit. Every year had one or more cartoons that everyone was talking about. Not this year, which is very much not a good sign. Still, what we got this year in and of itself was pretty good. Like it was Long Story Short, from the same creator as BoJack Horseman. I don't know if it'll ever reach that show's heights, but it's already at a strong start. She was a lot more personal, showing the off the crazy lives of 3 siblings in non-linear fashion, coming together despite their complications. Season 2 is confirmed, what I could always use a boost, so hey, check it out, it's on Netflix. It could go on, but it's great, to make a long story short. Yano is the closest we're gonna get to a real new CN original. Even if it's not fully one, but hey, I have a step at the network is dead. Hey, this is a fun show, showing off a really cool world inspired by African legends. In our style that's kind of standard, but really makes the action scenes pop. Maybe if you watch it, we can get one singular full CN original this decade. It's really sad that Disney has fully shifted away from serialized dramedies to episodic comedies. But of all of them, I think Stugo is the most fun. Yeah, the art style is generic, but like, action is really, really funny. The world it sets up very original for these weird mutant animals. The main six bounce off each other super well. Hope we get to season 2, but I know how animation works now. Philly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Watch my Spider-Man video. Well, there were 2 other MCU animations this year. One of them, you know, and sucks. The other, you have no idea ever existed, but it's actually pretty good. Listen, I wanted to like Marvel Zombies, but I've never seen a show more at odds with itself. Wanda is a villain for the 3rd time. All those characters with cool abilities to bounce off each other in the zombie apocalypse are maybe taken out and leaving up to the guy who can just shoot and punch. The cool thing about the comic was that all the zombies were intelligent, had to balance their intense hunger with their morals and power. If they kept their morals, that is. Everyone's just a mindless monster here, it's so lame. The one singular time it works is Thanos. Because a mindless creature whose extraordinary power is a great idea. Then they realize he's the only intelligent one. Then he dies. Who is this show for? Marvel fans don't want to see their favorite characters die horrifically with zero fanfare. Zombie fans don't get the slow, steady build-up in human moments because we still need the big action. So even the point of the show, the ending basically confirms that nothing we watched really mattered. The worst news show 2025 I saw, I'm sure there's worse, but I got nothing out of this. Eyes of Wakanda was good though. It looks at different points in time in history and how the Black Panthers are. The first time Iron Fist is probably in the MCU, and a really cool Greek episode. The show's only like an hour long, so yeah, definitely give it a watch if you like Black Panther. I guess I should cover DC too. Last year, Creature Commander started, and I was giving it glowing praises. Before the end of this year, and I might have to retract that. The show really built to nothing. When you think about it, every character's backstory is the exact same. I like the characters a lot, but this is supposed to be a big story-based epic. But nothing really happened. There's some funny lines and great action, but that can't save how one-note it feels. Maybe it can be salvaged in season 2, but gonna misfire here. The other show DC made was Batfam. Kind of weird to make a Batfam show with only one Robin and no Batgirl. They have Man-Bat and Ra's al Ghul as part of the family. Still, it's a pretty cute show that actually has a pretty interesting narrative, but really connects these characters. Creator is directed by Haley Shue, which means I get laughing every time she speaks. I've never played a Devil May Cry game, which means I didn't hate its cartoon. It's a fun enough time. I like the characters, especially White Rabbit, and the action, while stilted, does give it some pretty nice spectacle. I mean, I'll forget it after I'm done with this segment, and if I play the game, apparently I'll want everyone who made this show on a spike. But hey, for now, didn't hate it. Haunted Hotel has a pretty decent setup. Then the characters talk, and it becomes very clear that the people who made this also worked with Rick and Morty. Listen, I don't mind quips. I do mind walking back and leaving any potential emotional moment. Characters saying, wow, isn't that kind of cliche? Like, dude, if you don't want me to care, don't make the show. The show says some interesting things, though, like Keith David. So I'll keep my eye on it, but it isn't too special for now. I gotta get more into Asterisk, man. One point of reference to this series is the film I watched for that one Watch My French Death video, and the new show Big Fight. But both are so charming. The show is really high budget in the animation department, capturing the wacky art style despite being a show now, and it's constantly funny. Like, there's a fight that sings perfectly to the background music, which is Mr. Bombastic. This was originally a French production, which means even the French version had this song. This is his best use since Barnyard. Really funny origins of the two main leads. Dude, I gotta get more to this series. The Mighty Nine is a spin-off to Vox Machina. And honestly, I liked it more. The cast is a lot more fun, story a lot more engaging, Jester, and I'm saying this is something also like Vox a lot. Definitely check it out. Haha, you clown Tesla people, it seems. I thought it was a really funny throwback to old sitcoms and classic Adult Swim. Maybe some more episodes first, but I liked it. A lot of my friends meme on pretty hard on Win or Lose. I don't know if it's out of love or not. I liked it enough though. Really, the baseball elements of the show really are near non-existent, focusing more on the kids' personal problems, but the problems are shown off super well through a very creative animation. Glad Pixar is finally making shows. You know, besides peak television. They're a car for changing the trans episode though. And before we get into the new seasons, a shout out to my favorite cartoon of the year, is Common Side Effects. As a guy who spent more than half of 2025 watching adult cartoons, I can confidently say this is among the best adult animation can give us. The trippy visuals and charm gives us among one of the best art styles I've seen. The show is ridiculously funny, and the story and characters are actually really gripping, despite the grippy premise of being about drugs. You think it's just genre comedy, but no, it's much more dog. Hank Hill's in it. Please, dear God, check this show out. It needs to be successful. Easily among my favorite cartoons of the year. But hey, how are the new seasons? Well, this year is notable for rebooting 3 classic shows I love. The first being King of the Hill. The new season might be one of the only times I've seen classic series now tackling modern tech and stuff that actually works perfectly. It's really fluid and natural how they use them. Every character feels like they never left despite it being 30 years since I last saw them. Keith David. Animation took some getting used to, but it's still King of the Hill. Yup. The other is Gumball. God, it's so weird watching this on Hulu, but I love that it's felt more like a blending of the more idealistic and wholesome wacky stuff of the first season with a more cynical commentary of the rest of the show, leading to some of the show's best episodes, and arguably the show's overall strongest season. Season 2 also fixed a lot of my problems with the first, focusing a lot on the side cast and finally addressing Rob. Yeah, I think we're in good hands. Finally, just me further. I really don't think this needs to be brought back, but given this, yeah, it's still pretty great. It's been a return to form. As the original went on, they focused more on Doof and Perry. Now the boys are the stars again. They pretty quickly ran out of steam for the inventions, but Dragging It Away has given the team more than enough really fun ideas. And Doof, Perry, and Candace still are as hilarious as always. I'm not the biggest fan of Doof and Perry being reset, but hopefully they'll expand on them a bit. This feels very season 1, so maybe later seasons will get some love too. Perry and Stacey episode was great, finally hit on something the original show teased in a really fun way, but the Mip episode was really forced. I didn't like the constant mix of the camera. It feels like they're making this one obligation rather than genuine passion. Which is sad as a sequel to my favorite episode of the show. Still, Ferb, I know what we're going to do whenever the boys have their next big idea. I discussed Invincible Season 3 briefly in the Adult Cartoons video, but yeah, it's still great. still on the animation, and what does Eve even do? But Mark pushed even further. Anya slowly returns to the spotlight. Rex is my king, that's my goat. But even though the show is modern Breaking Bad, where every scene is a meme now, so I can't take it seriously, I still love it. Jellystone ended this year, and sadly on a kind of mediocre note. The episodes were fun, but you can tell the staff's running out of ideas. Second, the show started off really original. The big selling point was a big crossover episode with all its Cartoon Network characters. And while it's cool in concept, the fact that almost every CN character is just a stock image and they move around is super lame. Also, Mojo Jojo and Cindy are a canonical pairing now. That's cool. Not the worst, but for the big CN crossover, probably their last, I want something more special. Still, it's a fun season. So do people even know that Tales of TMNT exists? I started it last year, but I haven't seen any discussion of it. Season 2 does unfortunately keep the arc-based setup, really limiting the sidecast, but it's still really fun with good visuals and action. Jurassic World Chaos Theory got 2 new seasons. This show isn't talked about, but it's really super solid. And this continues that. Mark it off for my list of things to do this year to finally cover Jurassic Park, because yeah, this is good. Moon Girl Season 2B, just freaking call it Season 3, dog. Sadly puts the show to a close. Ending the last notable serialized kids show. Thought this was pretty consistent with the last time I discussed it. Animation songs are great. Dell doesn't matter still. Sucks to see it canceled. Is one of the animation's highlights of the decade. Fiona and Cake's second season, I argue, is weaker, but I still really liked it. Because they followed up on the Huntress Wizard and Fiona stuff is still fun. It doesn't feel as connected as it did in season 1. I'm really worried they're going to cancel the show after this. But it was a great adventure when it lasted. The new Sonic Friend was good. Probably the weakest season, but it has some really funny moments, and they're really getting creative with the different mediums they use. I like when they're in doubt, they just cut to Alan doing the gayest thing possible. Fandom is kind of insane and weirdly a little hostile. Guys, why are we philosophically analyzing everything about the show? Do we forget this is a show where Charlie trains the Smurfs? Still, fun season. Then, we're ending with Hazbin Season 2. Oh boy. Okay, this was kind of all over the place. First episode was kind of standard and funny. But episode 2 was absolutely fantastic. Perfectly setting up Heaven and fixing a lot of my problems with the first season. And episode 3 really built up Vox as a great villain. Episode 4 was the worst news episode of television I've seen this year. They are so clearly setting up Lilith Head Alistair's soul because everyone guessed it. Oops, it's Rosie now. Let's ruin everything that made her fun. It's like if I didn't make For the Author, dude. Like, come on. And somehow, this is not the worst part of the episode. I might need to make a second Ace Rep video. Because who on God's green earth thought it was a good idea to take one singular Arrow Ace Rep in the show and then have frame as rejecting Vox as a breakup? Constantly having them too close to each other while Al's literally tied up by him. And then having Val tell him to do it. Oh my god, we were never getting good Ace Rep, are we? No matter how horrible this episode was, the show bounced back pretty quickly. The rest of the season had great music, great moments for everyone, Alistair finally beating the Fry allegations, and Vox genuinely making the best cartoon villain of the decade besides Velos. I need Valentino smothered with a pillow, and episode 4 making me genuinely angry, but honestly, it's a pretty great season. Actually looking forward to more Hazbin. Just give my goat some more love next time. Metaphorical love, not literal.
Yes, honey, you should all get cool anime powers.
Anime was decent this year. Not mind-breaking, but that's pretty solid. Probably the biggest anime this year was City. Made by the same team as Nichiko, I said that wrong. The show perfectly encapsulates that really fun small city vibe. As the main trio just kind of wander around the city and see weird people. Like a chef that sounds exactly like Marvin the Martian. It's a really funny show, and the shorter runtime doesn't hamper how much you get to bond with the characters. Definitely loved it. Midori wears a sans fit. Another anime I heard a lot about this year was Sakamoto Days. I thought this would be a pretty fun spy family-esque show looking at a former assassin trying to run a shop, but he pretty immediately goes back to his old job. Like, he's really focused. They gave more focus to the other random assassins. The plot is not gripping enough to really make up for it. Decent action, I can see season 2 improving it, but I wasn't into this. A better blend of slice of life and action would be Apocalypse Hotel. In this, a girl sets up the hotel expecting humans to come, but instead, she's greeted by monsters. Underswap Hotel Transylvania. But no, the show is much cleverer than you expect, with a lot of fun moments. My obligatory 12-episode romance anime this year was Cultural Exchange Game Century Girl. Like every other slice of life I've watched, I liked it a lot. This time with a foreign exchange student bonding over a guy playing crane games. Really, the focus halfway swaps through from a guy to a girl, but it's cute. Loving people are in love. In fiction, no one in real life should be. Another romantic anime I checked out was Flagrant Flower Presumes Was Dignity, a show about two opposing schools and how students fall in love. Super cute, not my favorite romantic anime, but I do like it. The summer Hikaru died, I figured it would be a more emotional story, about people getting to cope with the death of their friend. I got that, but also it's Among Us. It's more a psychological thriller about Hikaru being replaced by a shapeshifter, and his former best friend trying to cope with his imposter in his place. Well, not what I was expecting. It's a very interesting and well-made show, constantly threw new twists my way. Like I wasn't expecting there to be an episode where the main guy punches his hands into a hole in Hikaru's chest, with dialogue gayer than most actual yaoi manga. Midlist is a sports anime about a girl trying to become an ice skater. It balances lighthearted, wacky stuff with showing her genuine struggle, while being overdramatic as sports animes tend to be. This was great. Santa is an anime about a kid hulking up to become Santa Claus, who's now tasked to make children happy by being the snout on everyone. Also, they'll occasionally cut to lesbians. Pretty fun show. Definitely keep an eye on it. Last thing around for anime to watch, someone gave me Bang Bang Awa Machuca. I didn't know going into it that this was a semi-sequel to something else. I'm gonna follow along pretty easily. This is an idol show, kinda. The show really starts super intense, with a lot of infighting and genuine scorn between the band members, and suddenly fun, happy dances and songs. It's fine, I guess. I shouldn't watch basically a second season first. You don't watch Planet Scene before Jimmy Neutron, you know? Twisted Wonderland is a unique idea for anime, to say the least. It's based on a mobile game. All Disney villains are legacy characters idolized as heroes and are icons of school houses. Sounds fun, but the Disney aspect is barely a factor. It's really just your average supernatural high school anime, but occasionally they'll meet a dude and you'll be like, oh wait, is that Gaston, well-renowned sex pest as a gym teacher? It's a fun show, but I'm going to forget it soon. Also only slightly related, but fun fact, in the game there's an event where Gantu appears. He's in a pretty anime board like the rest of the villains. He's still a giant shark man. This is because they cannot make a hotter design. I don't have much to say about Lazarus. It's very clearly inspired by Cowboy Bebop, but too early to tell how good it'll be overall. I'm definitely on board with it, Willow. Leviathan was fun. It's a series based on an alternate universe version of World War I, where opposing forces have events next named Clankers. No matter how flabbergasted I was every time it was said, this is a pretty fun show, with very standard visuals. I would watch the second season. I never played a Guilty Gear game, but the anime was fun enough. They gave enough focus to the gargantuan cast, with the favorites being Johnny and Biken. Action scenes are as great as you'd want from a fighting game. The story's pretty easy to follow, which I've heard isn't game accurate. But yeah, I want to give it a stripe. This is a fun first glance. And to end the brand new anime I watched this year, I, a 26-year-old man, watched My Melody and Chromie. And I enjoyed it. Listen, it's just a really cute, wholesome stuff. Very beautifully done with stop motion. Yeah, it's simple, but it's so earnest and swirled that I adored it. You even got me to check out the original My Melody anime. If you need a fun, calm time, definitely check it out. And hey, I can bounce off to something similar with the continuous seasons. Pokemon Concierge continues to be really cute. Like, it's got Celio. All my home is for Celio. It does fill me with boiling rage that it's not considered season 2. Like, dog, seriously, was anyone gonna get season 2s? For the anime adaptation of a series I like, Star Wars Visions kind of blends together both season 1 and 2's takes. They're all Japanese studios like season 1, but various studios like season 2. Lucky preferred season 2's take, getting a ton of different studios across the world to make their own Star Wars short. But hey, this is a pretty fun, unique, and varied show that takes full advantage of the Star Wars verse, while never using pre-established characters. Say it was a Song of Four Wings. Spy Family season 3 didn't do much new, but I just want more of it, and it delivered. More cute stuff with the main trio, more fun scenarios. Yeah, it's still great. One Punch Man season 3. I want to be more positive and be like, yeah, okay, the animation is a downgrade. Yes, that does matter since the fantastic animation of the first season helped us show off the contrast of Saitama's design and powers perfectly. The story and characters are fine, except no, it undermines literally every character and Genos is not in it at all. It's bad, it's disappointing. I really want to be more positive. I feel horrible. I'm sorry, I did not like this season. I think I liked Dandan season 2 a lot more than season 1. I'd argue that it had higher highs, but I do like expanding on Turbo Granny and Gigi. Alongside some more really creative monsters, and some more fun Momo and Okuru fluff. Dude, if they don't end together, I'm breaking a table in half. That table is Japan. Cutting down the weirder stuff from the first season is also appreciated. Yeah, the show continues to be great. Love it. And for the end of the segment, Penny Stalking has been something on my radar for a bit. But it's not something I really gave much of a look. The humor didn't really seem made for me, even if I really love the art style. And just the idea of anime taking cues from Western animation, when it's so commonly the opposite. Season 1 kind of is what I expected. Lots of humor didn't vibe with, but there's some genuinely funny moments. And season 2 is, I guess, less of the same. Like, it's just from the same cloth, but I just didn't like it as much. I think the original had to work with some stricter guidelines, but we didn't have that thanks to streaming. So they could make a joke of Penny loving sex every 2 seconds rather than every 10. It can still be funny. I think if I just vibe more with the original. And even that wasn't for me. Like, compare the actually amazing song from the first season, Penny swearing for 3 minutes straight. Hold your shot that the ace guy doesn't vibe with Penny and Stocking. Adore the animation, and I fully understand why it has a fan base. It's just simply not for me. When it comes to live action TV shows, a lot of pretty big shows got new seasons this year. So I decided to go back and watch a lot of what I missed. I've only seen 4 brand new shows this actually. All finished by slop. I am so sorry, dog. I'm washed. Actually, okay, no. I'll defend Alien Earth. This is a very unique take on Alien. Looking at the androids slowly becoming more human, as there's also killer aliens in the background. It's a coming of age with the age of humanity, and also the xenomorphs. Though it's not a part of the aging process. Very interesting show. And I gotta mention it, the crew all bonded by watching Ice Age. Of all the scenes to show, is not from the iconic original trilogy, it's Ice Age 4. And more specifically, the introduction to Captain Gut. We are finally getting a brand new Captain Gut content in 2025. Like this video if you're a real gutter. Oh, and also Marvel slop. I thought Daredevil Born Again was fun, honestly. Everyone I've talked to despises it. I can see why. They do walk back on a lot of what made the original Netflix series great. I don't know, I liked it. I like what they're doing with Kingpin as a mayor, and I feel like it blends the MCU and Netflix verse as well. I liked it, I don't know what to say. Ironheart. Did anyone watch this besides me? I feel like I've heard nothing about this at all. I liked it being real. Unlike a lot of MCU shows, it focuses on the actual character rather than setting stuff up. It's got some decent action, and Mephisto is finally introduced. Big Satan fan. Honestly, if any rank interest in MCU, sure, check it out. The final one is It, Welcome to Derry. This is a prequel to the It films, looking at the group who fought Pennywise first, and how he got his signature look. It's a pretty fun show, with how they show his form as constant scares, but honestly it does get kind of stale. You only show me a spooky thing happening to a character I don't care about for so many times. It does have some cool ideas though, so yeah, it's decent. For new seasons, let's continue with comic stuff with Peacemaker Season 2. I'm not gonna say it's a masterpiece, because they built up this alternate world for the whole season, and this kind of said no in the finale. But like, I don't know, I like when Peacemaker is on screen. I like when he and Hawk 2 settle their differences. Good action, kind of annoying humor. Besides Vigilante, he's hysterical. Green, kind of a loser. Canonically asexual. If I made him like Torterra instead of that fraud of a monkey, we might have had the best character ever. Writing this has kind of soured my thoughts on it, but like, still didn't hate it. Weirdly enough, I never watched the original season of Squid Game. That came out when I was doing my big CN walkthrough. Christ, 5 years ago now, Jesus. Which wasn't as structured as the later ones, so I couldn't fix it in. But I got time now. First season is great, of course, and the 2 new seasons this year. I mean, it's pretty clear they were intended, but I think season 2 really evolved it super well. Seeing more of the strategy now that Ji-hoon knows what's happening, while still feeling pretty bleak. Season 3 is clunky though, very clunky. Everyone said it, but Baby winning? Kind of stupid. I do think it ends fairly satisfactory though, and I like stuff like the trans girl story. So not the worst way to end it. It's no Beast Games though. You guys should hit the other 2 smash hit Netflix shows. I was really put off by Wednesday when it first dropped. I have fondness for the Walt Julia Adams Family films and the old cartoon, and this felt like it was going against what I loved about it. New season though, so hey, I checked it out, and I'm mixed. It feels very generic, and what I was worried about was true. They barely have an actual family dynamic that you want from an Adams Family. It tends to downplay the weirdness of them, and even derate it, which just isn't what makes the series special. But like, season 2 did improve on that a lot by giving more focus to the family. And either way, Jenny Ortega nails Wednesday pretty well, so like, didn't hate it. Not what I want to see from the series though. The other big one, of course, Stranger Things. People underestimate how big this show was, dude. No show after it had the grip it had. This was a cultural event. Sadly, it feels like every season after didn't get what made it so revolutionary. At season 5 at this point feels like they're just patting stuff on the back. It feels like more to celebrate the show's history rather than a good conclusion. Which, it's a final season, sure, but nostalgia for nostalgia isn't cool. That's what the original worked. It's nostalgic, but it's smart about it. The finale was rough, but they took no risk and paid off nothing. It was very disappointing. Peacock is the worst streaming service. Twisted Metal. Never played the games, but I really enjoyed this. Said it before, but I'm still always floored how high budget TV shows are now. Characters like Calypso and Needles, I figured you could never pull off properly live action. But they're fantastic here. As is the big fun car crashing action, matching the grittiness of the world and the silliness of the cast greatly. Even if someone has no attachment to the world, this is so much fun. Oh, and to do the other part 2 of a show based on a game, Fallout Season 2 just started. I'm enjoying it, I guess. I don't know if there's only like 3 episodes. And to end the segment off, Andor Season 2. Yeah, no, it's great, no duh. Very minor flaws and things they couldn't add. Andor himself didn't do much for the first half of the season. But overall, this is still the best Star Wars thing in a decade. Can't believe we're still getting quality stuff from this franchise. Everything's tied together well, and brought back my go-to K2SO. Fantastic second season. Please God, give us one other singular good piece of Star Wars media this decade. I'm turning to the dark side so quickly, dude.
No, you're not a gamer. No. You are not a gamer!
So, you ever hear of video games? I play a lot more games than usual this year. Because who needs money, am I right? As for new games, Switch 2. While there's a lot you can criticize, as in the pricing, it's the pricing. Overall, I'm enjoying the console. Game-wise, the big launch title is Mario Kart World. probably shouldn't have been, though. I mean, objectively, the game's great. It's Mario Kart. You can't mess up Mario Kart. But despite the great costume variety and extremely consistently great levels, there's a lot of baffling decisions here. The annoying and way too hard ways to unlock characters, the calls being basically unseeable in normal gameplay, kind of meaningless intermission races. They wanted to build more normal formula, but they did so sloppily. I don't know about them fixing 2 of those in later updates. If only I could fix how doubling the players means it's basically a requirement every race. They're gonna go from dominating to 16th place. Because right at the final lap, every single person behind you is gonna get blue shells and thunderbolts. I'm being too hard in this game. No king with aristocrat King Boo can be bad. And this isn't. It's still Mario Kart. So it's still fun. Just a little rough around the edges, as I said before. But let's just cut off the edges. And everything else is destructible. Because my god, Donkey Kong Bonanza was a barrel blast. I adored DK's new personality, as well as his overall excitable, wacky dork. Pauline is really fun sidekick, and my god, the gameplay is so satisfying. Every punch, every grab, every beat of your chest is adding to the transformations. I have this giant, stupid smile across my face the entire game. And dear god, that ending, oh god, it is so good. Bonanza is my favorite game this year. Well, favorite completed game. I'll get to other candidates soon. The DLC did not need to exist though. Speaking of DLC, Starcross Roll is a fun add-on to Curry Forgotten Land. A really fun new boss fight, more challenging levels in True Arena, new mouthful modes. For a small update, it was really fun. Oh, and random aside, we're in the middle of this segment here. I got the Rosalina storybook, because, duh, of course I was going to. Obviously nothing new. I really wish they included the new pages from the Mario Galaxy port they just made. It's just the one from the original game. You know, it's great. I wanted this since I was a kid. I am so glad it is finally a real thing. It looks perfect. It's beautiful. Obviously, big Rosalina fan, as you know, if you talk to me for like a single second. So, just really happy to have this book real. Not much to say. It's just I'm really happy it exists. Pokemon Legends ZA, the most controversial game of all time, it seems. I know Postal lets you use cats as gun silencers, but they're not strange enough to have a slightly ugly looking building. ZA might very well be the best Pokemon game in years. Okay, Arceus, but besides that, it's my favorite since, God, Black and White 2, maybe? The format of slowly battling up through the ranks, all in this one city, gives a unique structure that always makes things fun and unique. With quite possibly the best set of characters in a Pokemon game. Not possibly, he has Vinny, who actually was your favorite character. Glad to know that no one in the Pokemon fandom has ever seen a woman. Because after years of drawing canonically fat as support Cynthia, and literal 10-year-olds with breasts and butts wider than a tree trunk, having a panic attack over Emma, having a slightly pronounced butt. Which is sad because she's like the best character in the game. She's so fun. I love Emma. But no, ZA was extremely fun. Loved it. Hey Game Freak though, for deciding to not give the Gen 4 starters new forms in Arceus. But yeah, sure, give the Gen 6 starters Megas. Why not? I hate you! I just barely got Air Riders for Christmas. It's really fun. Wish I had more to say about it than that. Again, I just started, but it's super fun. I also got Age of Imprisonment. I haven't started that game yet, but I've heard it's fun. And to end this video off, the thing this year that crept its way into most of my life for the last 6 months of its existence. Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4. I like the first 2 chapters a lot, but I did not think they could overthrow Undertale. These achieved that. Dude, everything about these are cranked up to 11. Susie, dear God, I always liked her, but she's now like the full protagonist. Her development is fantastic. Not to mention Ralsei, my child, my son. Dear God, the random end of Chapter 4 gets me every time. Tana's a fantastic villain, while also being super relatable to me at least. Gerson, my goat, my friend. Oh my god, the soundtrack too. And the great setting up everything with a knight, and there's Yuri, and there's MatPat, and Water Cooler, and like... Okay. I'm sick of seeing Azure too, but there's a reason this game keeps on trucking. Deltarune has taken over my life so much, and I'm worried that my eyes will turn pink and yellow. It's fantastic. I cannot wait for Chapter 5 tomorrow. Papyrus is tonight, by the way. And that was everything I've seen in 2025. This was, again, a super hard year. Everything I mentioned at the start, just constant thoughts of awfulness. I feel like I haven't really progressed as a person, or a friend, or a creator, or anything. I just kind of feel like this was the most aggravating filler year of all time. All that has seeped into my videos as well. The ending of the cartoon commercials video, and the entirety of the In Stars in Time video, they're good examples. Great videos I still love, but I did get a little venti in them. Still ones I'm very proud of, and it's good to put my passion into these silly videos about games, cartoons. But yeah, you can tell this year has affected me a lot. But hey, I still love making these videos. I love that even despite how awful this world is, I will still have these videos and you guys to fall back on. As normal, I put my favorite videos of the year into a playlist. Check out the description to see it. As bad as this year was, we got some great movies, some great shows, some great games, and heck, Some great web videos as well. Glitch put out some interesting pilots. Death Valley continues to cook. Indie Cross was fantastic. That Tedo song got more on a Vocaloid. The reason I haven't pulled the trigger. I'm bringing this up because this year I'm doing one of the most requested topics. The big web series watch through and ranking. This has most of anything I need to watch. But hey, most are only 3 hours long. Who knows how long it'll take? But I'm sure I can get to it. Last year I had a big card of goals. And I'm sticking by that. I locked all off but 3 last year. Actually, let me update that. All but 2 last year. I last second hit 2K subscribers. Thank you guys so much for this. This is a big accomplishment. I have a plan for a 2K special. It'll probably need to wait like until February because I'm a bit busy this month. But like, thank you all so much for helping me hit 2K. Hopefully we can hit 3K this year. But here's a new improved one. I want a bit cheeky look of it. The 10-5 one is me wanting to hit at least 10 likes and 5 reposts on either Twitter or Blue Sky. If I hit that last year, it would have made Watch My Friends Just 4. Because hey, almost every one of those videos have one or both these social medias. If you did 4 and 3, I'm never making Watch My Friends Just 4. But hey, I hope to hit all of these, and I hope you'll be there with me for them. And that, finally, was 2025. A year with a lot of very, very high highs. And a lot of very, very low lows. But as a great modern philosopher once said, through dark times, hope rises and blossoms. Will giggity lowest and create supreme constructs. Peace.
I wasn't representing anybody except for me and doing good.